All right, guys, we got a big game right here. We control everything right now, so we got a big game. To the messages say. All right, they're talking about ready to return. Where's Crappie at? I think we're ready to come back in the lineup. We gonna make sure though. Make sure I put him back in there. Yeah, he's back up there. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Well, you guys way better than we are on paper. Wow. All right, TT. Let's get her done.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got the Dolphins, towering tight end. NFL in receptions. It's the Dolphins and the Ravens on
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudman. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played,
I ain't no name defense. Let's roll, baby.
responsibility he has and how the game flows through him. If he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Bears lost again, boy. Bears.
To the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. Nowhere to go that time. Might have got the yard.
Still no name defense.
This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates him.
Come on, man. I didn't get off a tackle like that.
That's 33.
Some bullshit.
Pickup of 8. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it, got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the arm, the run out of the play. He took the O, the option out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
No, you ain't going nowhere. You know that play. Coach Jules play.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
No-name defense, baby.
Facing fourth down, Baltimore will punt.
Bill played the Jets. That's going to help. Hopefully the Jets beat them.
Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
You ain't no interceptions, just keep playing your type of football.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. So he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And brought down.
They run around the block.
Reaching the 45-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Dolphins at 8-2 on the year. And they come in as a team that looks like a well-oiled machine getting ready for the postseason. Winners at 8 of their last 10.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's Tua. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. At his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
They'll run for it with Achane. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 1st down, back to Achane. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. You see the numbers on the ground a week ago for Achane. 15 carries, 51 yards.
They're coming off of back-to-back wins, and I think a lot of credit belongs to this guy right here because, to me, he's not only carried his win, but opened things up for his teammates, too. So if this winning streak is going to continue to have some legs to it, he has to remain effective and put together another nice game.
Tua going to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Tua sets up to pass it.
TT, throw the ball.
And that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on the line, but it came up.
You know that guy cannot kick that far. Why did he do that?
And this will remain a scoreless game.
50 as far as he can make a field goal.
55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Ravens offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he continues to show off his ability to run the football when the opportunity is right. He is the NFL leader in rushing yards from the QB position. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. One of the Jackson hit.
Fumble, good job. Way to pop him.
Like one of the DBs has it. And the possession is theirs at their own.
Way to pop him, no name defense.
He was having success there holding on to it on the option, but ultimately problems downfield, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and this is a tough one because you know you'd prefer to have your quarterback either heading to the sidelines or getting down at the end of the play. But you've got an aggressive one. He's fighting for extra yardage, and he gets stripped there. You don't need him to be a hero in that situation. You want your quarterback taking care of himself.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. Chark the motion man right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead are right up the middle here. We'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there. Here, look at this Baltimore defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call it. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now Tua. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the short catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to receivers, now you go over the top. Take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots.
Well, how do you catch you?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Huh? No. Huh? Huh? The hot dogs? Yeah, 2 enough.
Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down.
Look at the ball, the 1st down marker.
The 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now Achane on 1st and 10. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Miles Jack for the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Looking to pass. Tua completes this one to Meredith. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up.
Now, way to duck through the hole that time.
It's a nice play, even though it was complete.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Up the middle, Achan. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Right back to Achan on second down. And he is swallowed up right now.
You go around it, Achan. Come on.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
And that drive is going pretty darn well. 3 previous times converted on 3rd down. But on that one, the defense rose up and said enough of that.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
If you're going against him, man, that man kicking the ball nowhere.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up. You talk about this Miami defense. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. It's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Play action. It's Jackson.
We hit him. We hit him.
This is intercepted.
We popped him.
Inside the 20.
Good job. Way to hit him. No name defense.
Set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see.
Stay at home. Feel right to you.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they start in the best of all positions. 1st and goal. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run. Achan. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up.
Damn, Achan, you will still hurt you just said so.
When we come back to Miami.
Dog, man. Here you go again. This guy's been hurt all year. You come out for a quarter and leave.
Back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
Touchdown, TT. Good job.
Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
We're still in the 1st quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive offensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Will Lutz on for the point after. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
Drew's turn. We'll see you next week, guys. Every week, that's probably why you're running back. 269 for a couple weeks.
An early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with Henry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get him done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
From the gun, Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
That's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
2nd and 10. Henry out of the pistol. And some room to run now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player.
Hey, Robertson, you can't go out, man.
We'll
You got him on
when we
linebacker.
come back to Hard Rock Stadium. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. It's the Ravens with a football.
It's weird. The game is still alive. I had to restore it. It's weird. The game is still alive. I had to restore it. All right, guys. Let's go.
We resume play in the 2nd quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. Throwing is Jackson. Got an open man here. It's KJ Hamler.
There's everybody back to the block. Okay.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22. play fake. Here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure.
Missed him. God damn it.
He'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
We ain't got many lines, guys. Yeah.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Henry. Pushing his way through. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have got it back to within a score.
And as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drives 7 plays in length. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Wright, and he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Right is a hard one. He comes out the hole.
Right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 31, Tua. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far as a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead,
what was that? That's the wrong guy.
The Dolphins
guy was right
sending
in
out the
front of you.
punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he's been a tough guy to contain this year, and his numbers reflect that, as you can see right here. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
Now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. It. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. To throw is Jackson. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Way to fall on out there.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Tua. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. He's got it complete. He'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 36 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They're going to look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Dolphins at 8-2 on the year. And they come in as a team that looks like a well-oiled machine getting ready for the postseason. Winners at 8 of their last 10.
And if we look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Let's face it, anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits in this era of high-flying offenses, that's saying something.
Tua going to give this to Wright. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Wright on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Off the play action, Tagovailoa. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The guy was open. You got to make that throw.
A lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be 4th down. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by Lutz is good. Now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
They hit my kicker. They hit my kicker.
This is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
I felt it. They hit my kicker.
To a 3-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
Dummy.
So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
What's wrong with you guys?
Job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, forcing the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, Make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw again. To a hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
God damn it.
Give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact, the turnover.
Why are you holding the ball, TT?
Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat.
Guys.
Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
He's established himself well. Now can they put more points up?
Yeah,
and he will steer clear of that first tackler as he works his way forward for about 4.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 12 yards to pick up there for a Raven first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They turn around and show you.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper.
Guys, y'all saw they coming. Pull up.
He's certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Jackson now.
Picked off.
And his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. It's Deontay Banks with it.
All right, get the field goal back. Good job,
Times
Banks.
in the first half, we just looked at the offense and said, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
No name defense, but D.
Dolphins offense returning to the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Wright. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
Hold on to the ball. Palmer.
Force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Play action. Now it's Tua. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
TT. You got to hurry and get rid of the ball. Yeah, knock yourself out of field goal range. Just made it 54. God damn. New York, we'll make it. Now we got to keep this one perfect.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Now Lutz for the field goal try. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
And able to get this out to the 25. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets into the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Jackson.
Big hit.
To eat this one as down he goes. Here is 3rd and 5. Jackson. He dumps it off for Henry.
Hey, we missed that tackle on Jackson.
A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker. 4th down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Jordan Stout now.
We need to run back. We need another field goal, guys.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They'll look to set up his blockers. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Tua. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. And he'll be
get a first down.
getting this one across the 40. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Tua sets up to pass it. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Tua to throw again. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Bank Stadium in Jacksonville, where you see the final score there. Trevor Lawrence, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. Next, we'll stay right here in the Sunshine State, head down to Tampa, check on the Bucs. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. Baker Mayfield, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football to wrap up the week between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. The Dolphins got some strong play out of their quarterback, number 1, Tua Tagovailoa. He had a touchdown pass in that first half, helping his guys to a halftime advantage. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Chark the motion man right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
and 3. Here's Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Clark.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
Completes this one to Merritt.
Good job.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 29-yard line.
Good job, TT.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Give up the middle to right. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 5. And they'll go right back to right. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That's caught. It's the tight end lineman. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 13-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5 from the 8. They'll work the middle here with Wright. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 3rd and 3. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Able to find the open man. complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Right. Will score.
Good job.
Miami. Well, you've got the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Tua and the Dolphins offense staying put. They'll go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
An unsuccessful attempt at the 2-point conversion. And it was a triple option play. And they chose option 1, handing it to the fullback. And that's not normal.
And sometimes you just miss your read key, right?
Yeah, I think so. And sometimes they actually
Hang it up
call
right
that,
there.
thinking
What are
that
you
maybe
doing?
everyone will bypass the fullback going out to the tailback or the quarterback. But in this case, they overwhelmed them and stopped him.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a real threat, not just with the arm, but with the wheels as well. NFL's leader amongst quarterbacks in terms of rushing touchdowns. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just
Right,
look
just
at
game
each other's
tackling,
eyes
guys.
and realize what they've got to get
The
done.
no-name defense,
And
game
come out a
tackle.
little bit more charged up, because they don't get some kind of points here. That next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And they nearly get this all the way
We
to
missed that tackle. That's
Mark him
awful.
down at the 49. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those
We
legs.
were right
Able to
there. We
improvise
missed
and
that
get the
tackle.
first.
This tackle, look at him.
Game for
He
him throwing the
tickled.
football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new, it worked there.
Knock him to the
He's able
crowd.
to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down. So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he is
Guys, what
taken
happened here?
inside the 40, not
Nobody
quite to the
standing there.
35. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Now Jackson. A slant route caught by Bateman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
You gotta let fall down,
12
man.
more yards there and another first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
And Walker has it. And he's able to break out a run tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. And Jackson throwing once more. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, and now will bring up third down. And that's his second sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And partner, it's still just the third quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet, even if he's not getting a sack. He's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Good sack. Home good field goal. Good job.
Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
He takes some fucking points. Get that extra point. He's done. Don't hit the kick.
Tucker's kick is good, and that lead is back down to 9 now. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points in 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And they were laying them down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. From the 31, here's second down and 8. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll set up to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be
keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Needing the tough yards.
Good job, guys. We got a real quarterback. We get that 4th and 4.
Here at about the 40. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Only needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get
He's
it.
struggling running, man. Take it to the
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll give him a lead that time. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for this with Wright. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
They'll go again here with Wright. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Big run, big
51
run.
yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. On the handoff, it's Wright. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll give this to Wright, running right.
I call a hold. God damn it.
But he's inside the 5 all the way to the
They call that late, man. Jackson.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
On the give, this is Wright. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
How about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Throwing on second and long. Tua. There's a short one caught by Ryman. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive.
Guarding my real tight end. Good job.
Is what is known as a
Fast,
drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That's complete right around the 8. And the Dolphins are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. And this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on first down.
Second and goal from the 1. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's third and goal at the 1. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 3 tight ends up front here, third and goal. Wright going to try and blow his way in. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming from the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Baltimore's
we're taking money, man.
offense
Taking money.
next
Don't be
possession.
stupid.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker try on the field. They want that ball.
Big sack. Big sack. They're heading for a bigger loss.
The pressure gets home on first down.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, paired that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. To throw is Jackson. Forced out to his left. Fighting through pressure. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try and escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout.
Get out the way, man.
With just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
You lined up offside, dummy.
The offense on third down today, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson.
Big sack.
Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
That's some bullcrap, guys.
That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Jackson now. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
Big hit, guys.
And now
Big
we're
hit.
going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up.
That was a big hit right
We'll get
there.
an update when we come back to Miami.
That was a big hit, guys.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 7. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Jordan Brooks with it. And he's able to take this one to the 36-yard line.
No-name defense is badass, baby.
First touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's right. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll run with right. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's a run by Wright. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Oh, my guy get hurt, so I lose my
During that
time.
run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some
You know what?
discomfort.
I'm taking my last
Get
one
an
for free.
update when we come. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it. Here's Wright. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Tua going to give this to Wright. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
What kind of blocking is that, guy? Let's help him out.
Gotta figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Now a toss play for Wright. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. On play action, here's Tua. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Nnamdi Madubuike. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will stay a 12-point game. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Here's 1st and 10. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is going to fall to the ground. Incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Rushing. That escapes the sand. Dancing to his left. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. He's got Henry. And they will get the conversion on 3rd down, but the clock, a more pressing factor. Here's 1st down. Now he's forced out left, and he wisely will throw that one away.
This offense has had its troubles moving the ball all night. So now you get in this situation, hard to imagine that suddenly they're going to start clicking and moving the ball downfield.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Good game, guys.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Miami, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Jets lost to fucking Buffalo.